youth player. Also, Real Betis defender Natan Bernardo offered is being offered to Barcelona, and finally the club could earn some moolah, some cash this summer transfer market of Abde. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Bo, and I'm doing a short live stream because today I had to work late. So it's too late to film, edit, and post. So instead, I'm doing this short live to bring you Barcelona's most up-to-date views. This is not a podcast, so unfortunately, I will not be reacting to your comments live. But don't worry, because tomorrow is podcast day. So tomorrow, I will see you guys out on the podcast. Anyways, let's dive right into the news. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona are currently plotting a move for Girona's most promising youth player, whose name is Enzo Perez. Now, if you don't know who Enzo Perez is, I sure didn't. He's I think 13 or 14-year-old center midfielder currently playing for Girona's under 14 team in their academy. He's considered the most exciting midfielder in his age group, and in fact, he's currently leading his team, which is leading the division. So Girona's under 14 is currently leading its division, and Enzo Perez has been key in Girona under 14 team leading that division. Now, if you're pretty connected or you're pretty informed of Barcelona's youth setup, you might have heard of the name Enzo Perez before. That's because Enzo Perez used to be at La Masia. He was part of Barcelona's 7A side team. Then he moved to Gimnastic Manresa in order to get more minutes, which the move ended up working great because it allowed him to grow and gain consistent playing time. And that, of course, allowed him to then move to the Girona Academy. And now it's allowed him to get the attention of Barcelona. Now, there are other clubs within La Liga who are also monitoring Enzo Perez, and there's also major European clubs monitoring Enzo Perez. But of course, since he's under 16 years old, there's going to be an age restriction of him going somewhere else. But for now, it looks like Barcelona are looking to sign Enzo Perez from Girona's academy. But of course, he is one of the most promising, if not the most promising player currently in Girona's setup. So Girona are not going to make it easy. But of course, Barcelona have a couple of things going in their favor. First of all, the fact that Enzo Perez has already played in La Masia. So there's history there. And of course, his brother also is currently at La Masia. So hopefully that will convince Enzo Perez to join Barcelona as opposed to staying in Girona or going somewhere else. Now, speaking of young, promising players, Barcelona are set to complete the signing of another incredibly promising player who's no other than Yousef Hnafri. I think that's how you say his name, but Yousef Hnafri was born in 2015. 2015. Talk about making me feel old, because that means this guy is 11 years old and he's already being scouted by Barcelona. But Yousef Hnafri currently plays for Rayo Majadahonda. I think that's how you say it. He is someone that Barcelona scouts have been watching for quite some time, and they are convinced that he is a special talent. Now, he currently plays for Rayo Majadahonda's under 12, if I'm not mistaken, and Barcelona are looking to sign him for their junior setup, and it's expected that this signing should be completed in the next few weeks. Now, if you're wondering what kind of profile Yousef is, well, he is a dynamic and versatile player who flourishes primarily in the interior midfield position or as a winger. So, Yousef Hnafri, 11 years old, and Barcelona already consider him a special talent and looking to complete his signing pretty soon. And who knows? You know, these young players, I mean, Messi was signed at 12. I'm not saying this guy is Messi, but it's always exciting to see, Barcelona sign these very young, promising players, because you never know what you're going to end up getting. Now, on to the next bit of news, because speaking of signing players, Barcelona have been offered the opportunity of signing Natan Bernardo. Now, as you know, Barcelona's one of Barcelona's priorities for this summer transfer market is the center back position. They're currently in negotiations to sign Bastoni, but of course, as any other club, despite having your main target, you always have to have option B and C and D and E and F in case A doesn't work. You can move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And now Barcelona have been offered the opportunity to sign Natan Bernardo, who's a 25-year-old center back currently on contract with Real Betis until 2030. Real Betis signed Natan Bernardo from Napoli, and ever since he has become a mainstay on the first team. Now, Natan Bernardo has a market value worth 25 million euros. However, it's expected that Real Betis will ask for something around 30 to 35 million euros come this summer transfer market. And there's other interest in Natan Bernardo in La Liga and from Premier League teams. In fact, Real Betis rejected several offers during this winter transfer market from the Premier League. And even though there is, again, interest from the Premier League, Natan Bernardo prefers and prioritizes staying in La Liga. So Natan Bernardo's agents offering him to Barcelona. And I got to say, I don't think this is a Barcelona type signing. I think he's a great defender for La Liga. I just don't see him as someone who you could count on for sure in, I don't know, the quarterfinals of the Champions League against PSG or something like that. But anyways, just know that Natan Bernardo has been offered by his agent to Barcelona in a deal that could be worth 35 million euros, which of course is half of what Barcelona, or near half of what Barcelona would have to pay for Bastoni. Now, speaking of Real Betis, let's end today's video with the news that Barcelona could make some money this summer transfer market of Abde, the Moroccan winger who Barcelona offloaded to Real Betis. I think this was a couple of seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. Barcelona sold Abde to Real Betis for 7.5 million euros while retaining 50% of the rights in the player. But then, of course, Barcelona sent Vitor Roque on loan to Real Betis. And when Palmeiras wanted to buy him in order to, take away that loan from Real Betis halfway through the season, Barcelona gave them 30% more of Abde, an incredibly stupid deal, which means that now Barcelona own only 20% of the rights of Abde. And this season, Abde, well, he's had a pretty good season, a breakthrough season, if you may, where he has scored 12 goals and provided 12 assists so far. And as such, he is currently attracting the attention of PSG, Napoli, Aston Villa, and Newcastle. Many of these clubs who are considering even triggering his release clause, which is worth 60 million euros. Now, if any of these clubs trigger the 60 million euro release clause of Abde, of course, Barcelona would take home 20% of that instead of 50% because Deco's an idiot, which means that Barcelona could end up making 12 million euros this summer, which, of course, it's a pretty good deal. Well, not a pretty good deal, but it's always nice to make money, especially given the financial situation of the club. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I did go live a few moments ago. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, be scarce.